थैंक यू एवरीवन। प्रेयर के बाद हमेशा मन बदल जाता है। ये हम स्कूल से देखते आ रहे हैं आज तक। रंजय जी, राहुल सर आ गए क्या? रंजय जी,
हाँ संदीप जी, मैं हूँ अवेलेबल देर।
ये स्पीक कर दें ऐड को। रंजय जी, राहुल जी आ गए। रंजय
यस यस।
जी सर, आ गए सर।
आ गए ना? लाइए सर को स्क्रीन में लाइए प्लीज। डॉक्टर राहुल, गुड मॉर्निंग।
गुड
नमस्कार
मॉर्निंग।
सर।
गुड मॉर्निंग संदीप जी, गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन।
रंजय, हाँ अब राहुल सर दिखाई दिए। मैं राहुल जी का स्वागत करता हूं। सबसे पहले तो फ्रेंड्स, अगर आप गांधी जी के कार्य को देखें, हम लोग अभी वीर रस में चले गए थे राजस्थान के साथ 2 मिनट के लिए, लेकिन हमारे देश की सोच और हमारे देश की फिलॉसफी के सामने पूरा विश्व नतमस्तक होता है। अंग्रेजों के इतने समय के राज को स्वराज की भावना, अहिंसा की भावना और सत्याग्रह की भावनाओं के साथ में गांधी जी ने कुछ दिनों में परिवर्तन लाया, कुछ वर्षों में, और उन्हें हम यहाँ से रुखसत कर दिए। इस फिलोसॉफी को डिस्कस करने के लिए मेरे कोलीग डॉक्टर राहुल कुमार हमारे साथ हैं। हम उनका अभिनंदन करते हैं। एंड आई फील हैप्पी टू इंट्रोड्यूस डॉक्टर राहुल कुमार. Dr. Rahul Kumar is a noted scholar and an anthropologist by profession. He is MA, MSc and PhD in anthropology from Delhi University. In his MSc, he talked to the class, not to the class, rather to the university, and he secured gold medal of Delhi University. Dr. Rahul is associated with various learned research bodies and government organizations. He is extending his lectures and intellectual properties with many organizations. And Sir is working as a deputy director and heading to the scholarship and fellowship division in CCRT. He is having vast experience in the field of anthropology and anthropological studies. Sir, now we are 250 teachers from 11 Indian states, and this program we are conducting from Udaipur. Kothari sir is with us, and he has collected a huge number of teachers from Rajasthan itself. And on behalf of this group, representative of teachers, even we are organizing the program. We welcome you, sir, in the program. And now over to you, Dr. Rahul.
Thank you Sandeep ji. Thank you Kothari ji.
Thank you, sir.
And all my
Come.
I extend my greetings and namaskaram to everybody, all my friends, teacher friends from 11 different states, from different parts of the country. Actually, when I'm seeing the screen, I feel very different kind of feeling I am having, because we are not used to interact with teacher on virtual platform. Although we are doing this thing from last year, after the onset of corona epidemic, or pandemic rather you say, but before that, me, Sandeep ji, and all CCRT faculty, all CCRT officers, we have been so habituated to interact with teachers in a physical training program, that I feel very emotional when I see teachers, that too in such numbers, and we are having interaction on the virtual platform. But at the same time, I feel very proud that we have got that skill. CCRT has got that expertise, and teachers, those who are the nation building, those who are doing the very important task of nation building, they are also having that kind of skill that we can always, in any situation, we are in adverse situation, we are there, but still we have been able to organize this kind of training programs, and you have been able to participate. So this is also a kind of skill, and I'm very fortunate, I'm very lucky, I feel very privileged that I have been given such a pertinent topic in today's context, that what is the importance of Mahatma Gandhi vision or Mahatma Gandhi principle of education, and its importance, its application in today's context, especially in teaching and with special reference to life skills. So this is very important topic. I'm very lucky, I'm very fortunate, and I feel indebted to the training division that they have selected such an important topic to interact with, especially with teachers. Because what I feel that CCRT is one of the unique institution, one of the very important and prestigious organization in the country, which has been implementing the concept of the principle of Gandhian education system since its beginning. CCRT is following the same principle of Gandhian education system in all our training programs. This is the only organization which I have seen that right from our inception since 1979, we have been organizing such kind of training programs where we have been given lot of emphasis to orient the teachers in such a way that they should adopt a very different kind of teaching methodology where they can incorporate the craft based learning, the experiential learning, the learning which allow the child to get a meaningful exposure to their environment. So what Gandhi proposed, Gandhi was a great educationist. He was a great advocate of experience based learning. By education, what he meant that education is not literacy. It is not to literate someone, rather it is a learning process. It is a process of learning in which child is exposed to certain kind of craft based activity initially. He also said that before learning alphabet, we should learn some craft. And if you come to CCRT training program, especially we have one special thematic workshop, which is known as SUPW workshop. Okay, there are so many workshops. We have one fundamental training program orientation course, which we have tried to change in a very meaningful manner. We have tried to develop the orientation course in our foundation training program with the help of very eminent resource person under the able guidance of our honorable chairperson and director CCRT. We have been able to devise a training program, foundation training program, suiting the needs of the current scenario, especially keeping in mind the national education policy. But you see, you are teachers, you have been trained in such a way, you know everything. I can't teach you anything, and I'm not here to teach you. I'm here to interact with you, and I want everyone to switch on their camera and mute their mic. Nobody should switch off their camera. The screen should be visible. I want to see the beautiful faces, the vibrant faces and smiles of my teachers to whom I'm interacting with. You know, Gandhi ji always used to stress upon the behavioral aspect of learning. He always said that whatever we are doing, whatever we are professing, whatever we are teaching, we should first experiment that thing with ourselves. He was a practical idealist in himself. If you want to change the world, if you want to reform the world, first reform yourself. So Gandhi ji was a practical idealist. He was a great educationist. He was a very innovative educationist. He himself said that you can't, any country can't progress the social, moral and economic progress of a country depends upon its education system. And he laid more stress on value-based education. If you see national education policy, still we have not been able to follow his teachings, follow his, in his footsteps. We have not been able to keep our pace of progress, and we have not been able to follow what exactly he used to say. If you examine properly, if you introspect properly, you will come to know that what Gandhi advocated, we are now giving different kind of very catchy terms like vocal for local, Swachhata mission. All these Gandhi talked about. Gandhi talked about craft-based learning. He told that we should, give very, I should say, very relevant examples while we are teaching. The examples from the cultural settings of the teachers, of the students, from where they are coming, their socio-cultural background. So you have to take the examples. Suppose a child is coming from a rural area, and if you are teaching any concept, I'll talk about those things also, what Gandhi taught about the teaching methods, how we should teach in the class. You must have learned all these things because this topic is there in your B.Ed class also. But whether you have incorporated those learning in your life, what Gandhi used to do, Mahatma Gandhi, people say that he was too very utopian in its concept. It is not, you can't achieve what Gandhi told. But Gandhi has demonstrated his teachings. He has been able to, you know, attract the masses. He has been able to mold the mindset of the people in such a way that people have been able to take up the skill of weaving, the skill of, weaving the thread of cotton and wearing khadi. The whole India was adopting that Swadeshi Andolan, Swadeshi Apnao. Now we are talking about Swadeshi. Now we are talking about Honorable Prime Minister is, announcing from the podium of the Lal Killa that we should be very clean. We should adopt Swachhata mission. We should, we should give opportunity to the entrepreneurs. We should have startups. We should give more opportunity to the youth for taking up the innovative skills. We have a very separate department, Ministry of Skill and Development. Who talked about all these things? So before showing my slides, actually I wanted to give you, because online we can't keep on talking. I'll just start my presentation with the PowerPoint, and I'll keep on explaining all these things. So what I was telling, that in CCRT, we have been organizing such kind of workshops where teachers, when we will start the physical training programs, Deputy Director Training and our Director Sir, we will sit together and we will decide that how we can give you opportunity once again, that you can come to the different, centers of CCRT, and you can have that kind of exposure, that you can learn the art of making puppetry, art of making pottery, tie and dye, paper craft, so that you can train your students also, so that they can appreciate the skill of craftsmanship and the dignity of labor. So these things were what Gandhi used to advocate about. So now I'll start with my presentation. We are having a discussion on Gandhian principle in education, application in classroom in today's context to teach values and life skills. So you can see Gandhi philosophy of education is a harmonious blending of idealism, naturalism and pragmatism. So what Gandhi taught, he was a very, I should say, having a practical and pragmatic approach. And Gandhi told that his education philosophy He always used to believe in the principle of truth, non-violence, fearlessness, and that is why his philosophy of education was based on idealism. He always used to say that if you want to be a good educationist, if you want to be a good, teacher, you should have the good moral values. So he started with idealism, and then he combined this philosophy of idealism with naturalism and pragmatism. Naturalism means that his idea was based on the natural settings. He always used to say that we should have some kind of exposure. The children should have some kind of exposure to the craft-based learning. Are you able to see me, Ranjoy? I am
Yes, sir.
visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. PPT is PPT.
Okay.
We can see and we can see you also.
Both of us, our PPT and me too visible, na?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
PPT has been shared with all the teachers.
Very good. Now all teachers can see my PPT. They can see my PPT?
Yes, sir. They can see your PPT.
Okay.
You can continue, sir.
Okay, thank you. So idealism is base of Gandhi philosophy, whereas naturalism and pragmatism are the helpers. They were the catalyst in translating that philosophy into practice, into action. Therefore, which I told you earlier, that Gandhi was known as a practical idealist, and his idea of educated nation was education for life, education through life, and education throughout life. Gandhi philosophy to life is based upon the philosophy of idealism. He advocated the ideals of truth, non-violence, and moral values to achieve the ultimate truth of self-realization. Gandhi always used to say that the final objective of education is the self-realization. We should achieve that kind of objective, that we should be able to realize our own self. We should be able to realize the feeling of assimilating our finite, ourself into the infinite God. Means that we have such kind of technical glitches and technical interruptions. So now we will again go back to where we were discussing earlier. अभी बीच में कुछ नहीं करना है रंजॉय, इसको leave it as it is. We will just keep on continuing. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because I'm not touching my laptop, I'm just giving my lecture just like that only.
Okay, sir.
So we were discussing about the Gandhi concept of basic education. As I told you that Gandhi objective of education was that the children should be developed in a total personality, all round development of a children. So by education, Gandhi meant that there should be an all round drawing of out of the best in child's and men's body, mind and spirit. Earlier I was discussing you that by education, Gandhi was not meaning that we should be literate. Literacy is neither the beginning nor the end of education. This is only a means through which a man or a woman can be educated. So Gandhi was a firm believer that the country's education system should be focused towards the overall development of a child, encompassing the moral and value-based education. First, the second is he also stressed a lot of importance upon the cultural development of a children, cultural aspect of education. And this was the reason that he focused more and more on the craft-based learning, experience-based learning, learning by doing. And therefore, he was totally against the rotten learning, the mugging up the syllabus. And this is the reason he was, and his educational philosophy was, coined as a meaningful blending of three philosophy of education, that is naturalism, idealism and pragmatism. So now we will move to the next slide. his concept of basic education includes 8 elements. You must have read about this. But nowadays, in today's context, the some of the changes may be there. Like he talked about that from 7 to 14 years of age, education of each child should be free, compulsory, and universal. So we have now right to free and compulsory education. There is a, there is a law which permits children to access free and compulsory education. And now we cannot think of from 7 years of age. Now you know that when the child is 3 to 4 years age, he is being eligible. He is becoming eligible for the school education. You can say primary education. The medium of instruction should be mother tongue. Now in national education policy, lot of emphasis has been given on the regional languages. So Gandhi was at that time itself, because he was totally against the colonial system of education. He wanted to break the barrier of, English medium of instruction, and he wanted that everyone should be taught in their mother tongue only. Then only people will have a kind of affiliation, association towards their motherland. As I told you that mere literacy cannot be equated with education. Gandhi was totally against the concept of literacy, to be literate. He told that education should employ some craft as a medium of education so that the child can be made self-reliant. So at that time itself, he was talking about the self-empowerment, self-reliance for life, both economically, socially, and morally and culturally as well. Education should develop human values in child. Education should create useful, responsible, and dynamic citizens, and by education, all the hidden powers of child, all the hidden talent, innate abilities. A child goes to school at the age of, I should say, 3 to 4 years, and at that age, at early age, children is influenced by two people. One, primarily their parents, and second, their teachers. So teacher has a very important role in molding the personality of a children. So teachers should give more opportunity to children to express themselves. We should not be, running after children by teaching them or by giving them more stress on the academic syllabus. Rather, we should allow child to interact freely and to express him or herself freely by making craft as a medium of instruction. So by education, all the hidden powers of children should develop according to the community of which he is an integral part. I'll discuss about the teaching methods. So here you can just focus what I'm trying to emphasize, that child should be associated with their own community in our teaching also. They should feel a sense of belongingness. So education should achieve the harmonious development of child's body, mind, heart, and soul. It should be a total development. There should be a complete blending of heart, mind, and soul and body. So all education should be imparted through some productive craft or industry, and a useful correlation should be established with that particular industry or with that particular craftsmanship. So that craft-based learning should not be mechanical. It should be scientific. It should be culturally oriented. We should tell the child that whenever you are learning a craft, you should know about its genesis, who all are the people who make that craft, who all are those communities, what is the belief system about that particular craft, why we are practicing that craft. All such questions, child should be made inquisitive. They should have that kind of habit of asking questions. Okay, so that exposure towards that particular craft will make child able to achieve the gainful work experience through practical work. Education should be self-supporting. Gandhi was a very, I should say, a very hard, firm believer that while learning, we should be earning. The work and education should go side by side. Nowadays, you must be knowing all these things. We are also we have done PhD, MSc, people are there who are having technical background. But when they land up in certain kind of profession, they find that whatever they have learned and what they are doing now is completely different. So this is the flaw of our education system. Right from the beginning only, we should orient the children in such a way that they should adopt certain kind of skills and they should take up those skills in their later life also if they want to make them as a profession. CCRT is giving a scholarship. You must be knowing that CCRT is giving scholarship and fellowship to children, young scholars and scholar artists. So children who are learning any art form, it's not compulsion that they have to become a flutist or they have to become an instrumentalist or they have to become a singer. But while they are learning, they have developed that kind of skill of appreciation of Indian art and culture. And by that, I must quote here that they have a great sense of ability of learning and they are doing very well in their academics as well. Last year only our scholarship holder has got the highest marks and he has topped the class 12th board exam. So what CCRT is doing, CCRT is trying to propagate the similar kind of culture based learning, cultural centric learning, and cultural includes craft based learning, exposure to your environment, exposure to your near, बिल्कुल जो आपके बिल्कुल क्लोज में इन्वायरमेंट होते हैं उसका आपके प्रति जो है क्या लगाव होता है, आपका आदान प्रदान जो आपके पारस्परिक जो एक इंटरेक्शन होती है, that CCRT is trying to emphasize upon. So education should be made self-supporting through some productive work, and education should lead to the economic independence and self-reliance for the livelihood. Right from the beginning itself, children should be made self-reliant. Okay. Now next. Now as my lecture points to the application of Gandhian principle in today's context. So Gandhi principle of education will always be relevant, keeping in view of the philosophy of education which he has advocated, that the main objective of education is the development of the moral values of child. He should be made self-reliant. He should be economically productive and he should be responsible future citizens. So Gandhi principle of education will never ever lose its relevance, especially when we talk about the development of certain kind of skills. So at that time itself, Gandhi was able to comprehend that if we want to unite India, if we want to liberate India from the clutches of the colonial rule, then we will have to, develop a sense of belongingness, a sense of self-pride, a sense of appreciation of our handicraft, our basic, I should say, the cultural fabric of our nation, which includes the handicraft industry. And that was the reason that he propagated the use of khadi and weaving of charkha. So Gandhi basic education was the practical embodiment of his philosophy of education. His basic education takes up the challenging task of preparing the young learners to become morally sound, individually independent, socially constructive, economically productive and responsible future citizens, which can prove helpful in solving the people's problem of unemployment by making them self-employed, by giving them skill training. Gandhi believed that education should develop all the capacity of a child so that he should become a complete human being, which I talked about, that there should be a development of a complete blending of body, mind, heart and soul. And then only child will be able to realize the goal of education, which is self-realization, moving towards the ultimate aim of life, which is truth or God. He equated truthfulness with godliness. When you become truthful, when you become truthful towards yourself, towards your deeds, towards your conduct, then you go closer to God. So in other words, he believed in life-centered as well as child-centered education. Besides learning 3R, reading, writing and arithmetic in school, he insisted on development of 3H, hand, heart and heart and head. So thus the aim of education should be developing the integrated personality of a child. So he wanted to educate the brain by your hand. So Gandhi was a firm believer that the basic objective of education is to make children self-reliant, and they should be able to learn certain kind of skill to earn their livelihood as the main aim of education. So he advocated that together with vocational education, cultural advancement should also be achieved, which CCRT is trying to propagate the value of cultural education. So the two aspects of development should go together, side by side. That we should also educate the children in such a way that their vocational education should be achieved, and they should be able to develop certain kind of skills, and they should be also made culturally developed. So he also believed that one of the essential aim of education is the moral development or character development of a child. And he was wishing, he wanted that every child should grow into a divine human being by realizing godliness in his self. And Gandhi himself writes that to develop this self is to build character and to prepare this self for complete realization and realization of godliness. So his basic education concept was job-centered, value-based and mass-oriented. So you can clearly make out that why his education system is relevant today also. The elementary principle of sanitation. आज हम स्वच्छता की बात करते हैं. We talk about स्वच्छता mission, but Gandhi has practiced, professed and advocated the value of cleanliness in his acts, in his message when he, motivated all the countrymen to be develop certain kind of habits, that we should do all our works. We should clean our utensil, we should clean our the premises, and we should clean our toilets even. So he was very much firm believer of the learning by doing, and he wanted that whatever we want that people should follow, we first do ourselves. So the elementary principle of sanitation, hygiene and nutrition, besides compulsory physical training through musical drill, the education should involve all these components. He argues that his scheme of education would make students strong, confident and useful to their parents and their country as well. Gandhi adds that his system would lead to a communal harmony because it would be the same for all. It would not be differentiated that certain kind of people will have different kind of education, certain people will have different kind of education. It will be one for all. So it would be a practical religion and the religion of self-help. So by religion, he did not mean here that any kind of religion which we talk about like Hinduism, Muslim religion or maybe Christianity. No, the religion he referred as religion of self-help, religion of practicing our learning. If we'll practice those learning by exposing ourselves to environment, to certain kind of craft-based skill learning, then it would be religion of self-help. Everybody will be doing certain kind of work and will be contributing towards the development of the country. He emphasized the following principles in methods of teaching. That's what I was talking about, that as a teacher we should keep in mind these points when we are teaching children, and especially when we are teaching children keeping in view of the Gandhian principle of education, or maybe I can say it would be too utopian, or you may say अपने ऊपर काफ़ी जो कहते हैं ना कि अपने ऊपर प्राउड फील करना, तो आई विल टेल यू दैट इफ यू फॉलो द CCRT vision of education, then you have to follow these methods of teaching. To achieve mental development, training of senses and parts of the body should be given. Here also, when you come to training program of CCRT, we train the teachers in different kind of craft, and we also train them in different kind of training of senses. We organized a class or session on mime and movement and mime, where we call experts who are from the field of theater or maybe mime, and they teach teachers how they have to be, you know, uh, develop certain kind of ability that they can use their body language, they can use parts of the body to communicate, effectively communicate to the children. So we should have a training of senses and parts of body by organizing various physical based training, physical based learning in the classroom. So that will achieve the mental development. Then reading should precede the teaching of writing. मतलब राइटिंग पढ़ाने से पहले आपको बच्चों के अंदर रीडिंग एबिलिटी डेवलप करनी है. More opportunity should be given for learning by doing. You should be not entered into the class and you should not start reading the syllabus, you should not reading the concepts. You should rather give some certain examples and make children learn some certain concepts by doing certain kind of activities. You can form the group, you can devise certain kind of maybe story, you can cook some story, or you can give some examples from their own cultural background of a temple, of a village deity, of a cultural festival, or maybe cultural, certain kind of architectural building which is there in their village, or maybe some certain kind of a tree which is very old and maybe given some certain kind of a spiritual significance. So that kind of example you can give in the class. Encouragement should be given to learning by experience. You should allow the child to, free himself and get exposed towards the difficult kind of exercise. And when he will do himself, he will have practical experience, and then he will never forget in his life. It will be a lifelong learning. So Gandhi propagated the idea of lifelong learning. That is the reason he was against literacy. Literacy, he told, that is not neither the end nor the beginning of education. Education is a lifelong learning process. Correlation should be established in the teaching methods and learning experience. There should be a perfect, meaningful correlation between the teaching methods and learning experience. We talk about learning outcomes. So that's what he was trying to emphasize upon. There is a need to increase facilities for technical and vocational education. This was the one of the point which was given in the Kothari Commission report. So Kothari Commission report also referred to the Gandhian principle of education, and a lot of things have been incorporated from the Gandhian ideas of education in Kothari Commission report also, which is very much relevant. And nowadays, when we talk about national education policy, there also lot of references have been drawn from the Gandhian principle of education, and our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has also adopted various teachings of Gandhi ji when we talk about Swachhata Mission, or when we talk about Skill India, and when we talk about vocal for local. So we should be always vocal for the local heritage, local craft, local heroes. Nowadays we are celebrating Amrut Mahotsav, 75th years of independence, Indian independence. What we are trying to do? What we are trying to do? We are trying to feel the pride. We are trying to appreciate the contribution given by the local heroes, national heroes, and we are trying to again relive those traditions, relive and feel the sacrifices which has been given by the national leaders, and what all importance, what all lessons of life they have taught to us, so that those teachings should be incorporated in our personality, in our learning, and we can adopt those things, and we can make India proud, feel pride of, and we can make India a very strong country. So nowadays, if you see, in every state, we are trying to celebrate the Amrut Mahotsav, 75th year of independence, and that those things which now we are doing and we are trying to learn, that has already been taught by Gandhiji in the form of his education principle, that we should be focused toward the vocational based learning, craft based learning, and the main aim of education should be the development of the moral values and cultural values and total personality of a children. So that linkage of technical and vocational education with education has been given by Kothari Commission report also. So now at the end, I would like to tell you that Gandhi believed that the highest development of mind and soul could be only possible through handicraft, and the education of child should begin with a useful and productive craft. Craft should form the nucleus of all instructions, but handicraft should not be taught mechanically but scientifically. Scientifically means we should be able to establish the cause and effect relationship, the logical reasoning based learning, that why we are learning this craft, what is the aim of learning this craft, what was the genesis of this craft, from where this craft has originated, who all are those people who are practicing that particular art form, that craft, why they practice this craft, what is the economical, moral and cultural significance of this craft. We should be able to appreciate, we should be able to teach those children about this. With the introduction of a useful craft as the center of all instruction, every school can be made self-supporting. Every school can be made, they will be able to generate certain kind of revenues, and children will feel proud of their skill. And by teaching craft, Gandhiji's objective was not to produce craftsmen, but he wanted to exploit the craft for educative purposes. And the teaching of all subjects, Gandhi said, should be inspired by the craft. So the brain must be educated through hand, what Gandhi used to advocate. Gandhi laid stress on imparting knowledge and acquisition of productive efficiency and practical skills through a craft. He followed the principle of practice preceding theory. Before theory, we should practice. So he was a hardcore practical ideologist, and most of the time in the timetable should be given to the acquisition of practical skills and productive efficiency. So this is my learning, that we should follow KASH. KASH means K stands for knowledge, A stands for ability, S stands for skill, H stands for habit, and if we practice is the key element, key component. If we practice knowledge, we'll be able to develop the ability, we'll become able, हम योग्य बन जाएंगे अगर हम अपने ज्ञान को, अपनी नॉलेज को प्रैक्टिस करते हैं. एंड इफ वी प्रैक्टिस आवर एबिलिटी, वी विल डेवलप अ स्किल. अगर हम अपनी योग्यता को प्रैक्टिस करते हैं अच्छे तरीके से, तो हमारे अंदर एक विशेष कौशल, एक कुशलता हमारे अंदर डेवलप होगी, उसका विकास होगा. एंड इफ यू प्रैक्टिस स्किल, अगर हम अपने स्किल को प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, देन इट विल बिकम आवर हैबिट. एंड हैबिट हार्डली गोज. आदत जो है वो बहुत ही मुश्किल से जाती है, और अच्छी आदतें तो जानी भी नहीं चाहिए. देन it will lead to the development of total personality. Now I show you the photograph of CCRT training workshop. You see, if you'll come for the physical training, then you will be given opportunity to learn paper craft, clay modeling under the guidance of the craftsmen and the master craft persons who are associated with CCRT. We also teach mask making and puppetry in our classroom, in our training programs. We also expose the teachers to the meaningful learning of tie and dye and craft. Pottery making, you can see. Thank you. But I have tried my level best to motivate you, to draw your attention that what CCRT is doing today is the same which was proposed by Gandhiji, that the children should be motivated towards the moral and cultural development, and they should be exposed towards the learning of some meaningful craft and development of a skill. So CCRT has been doing this since 1979. If anyone wants to share his experience, wants to ask anything, they are most welcome.
Anju Chauhan ji, you can unmute yourself. Dr. Ashwin ji, you can also unmute yourself. Dr. Satyendra ji Kaur ji, you can also unmute yourself.
Although Dr. Rahul has ignited all the brains, I know it was wonderful experiences, Dr. Rahul. But maybe there is some problem or what, teachers are not coming up. Please, teachers, if you wish to have any query, otherwise we can move now. One or two questions at least from...
So let me identify who is going to ask.
Yeah, we can't actually. From Rajasthan.
Sarita ji, you want to ask anything, Sarita?
Yes, Ranjay ji, unko unmute करें, please.
जी, Sarita ji, unmute yourself. Just raise your hand. Raise your hand, Sarita ji. Raise
Hello.
your hand. Yeah.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Speak. Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Yes, sir. I am Zoli Tommy from Odisha.
Namaskar, bataiye.
Namaskar, sir. In this technological era, when all the youngsters are behind the technological skill, how effectively we can implement these skills in the schools? I would like to know how effectively we can implement these basic skills in the classrooms.
See, the relevance of the craft which we see in our environment, like which are made of the natural raw materials, will never lose its relevance, its importance. Even if technology is there, I can give example from my own family. When I see my child, and he's he's studying in a convent school in Delhi, and he's very small child. He's in a primary stage. He's only 4.5 year old. But I see that nowadays also in their online classroom teaching, they are being instructed to through their technology only. Like us, we are meeting on this virtual platform. On virtual platform, they are being taught to make shoes of the paper and tie the laces, so that they should be able to develop the sense of how they should tie the laces, shoelace. Then they are making different kind of craft also. So even if technology is there, we have mobiles, we have laptop, we have computers, but we should be able to orient the children to be able to be attracted towards the local craft. Suppose it is not possible for a small children to have an access to the aeroplane, or maybe have an access to the different kind of gadgets, but if you try to tell them that see, look how much effort it's being undergone when you are preparing an aeroplane or you are preparing a craft. So if you draw aeroplane by a paper and show them on their laptop also the images, the video, or maybe some kind of recording, because if you nowadays, so many videos are available on YouTube. If you go there, you yourself can learn how to prepare a craft, or develop a certain kind of imaginative kind of craft, which can be attracted, and which can be child can be attracted towards it. Okay, this is aeroplane, this is car, and this is a bird. So you can make those bird, show them their images, different kinds of birds in different kinds of environment, and ask them to learn different kinds of words. उसमें भी आप देखिएगा विभिन्न विभिन्न प्रकार के चिड़ियां होती हैं, विभिन्न प्रकार के पशु होते हैं, तो उनको आप टेक्नोलॉजी की मदद से क्राफ्ट और सिखा सकते हैं. It will never be hindrance, but you should never allow child to be deviated and not to learn craft because of their overexposure towards the technical gadgets like mobile and laptop and all those things. It all depends
सर
upon teachers. पूछिए पूछिए राजेश जी पूछिए.
हेलो
जी पूछिए राजेश जी पूछिए.
Myself is Dr.
सर
Bharti Sharma.
one by one. Dr. Bharti, wait a minute.
Yeah, sir.
बोलिए.
सर कैन यू गिव मी एनी URL फॉर crafts sir?
What? I am not able to hear you.
Can you give any YouTube links for especially craft work?
It is there. I'll provide Ranjoy. You can take it from Ranjoy. You can yourself.
Okay.
If you go to CCRT YouTube channel, you will find so many craft-based classes. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Dr. Bharti Sharma, last question from you because next session should start in time.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that. Sir, I'm just asking about that thing. Now, these days, we are facing so many problems and we are using technology because we are completely dependent on that thing during this pandemic time. How it's possible we can use technology and Gandhian education together? It's possible because I think so. It is a two faces of a coin, opposite faces of a coin. So how can we use technology and Gandhian education together?
Please don't say like this. Gandhi was a very modern in its approach and he is still relevant and people are not able to use his philosophy to that extent. If they will become more developed and more pragmatic in our approach. Gandhi was totally in favor of learning new kind of technology, new.
Obviously, yeah.
By skill, I am not referring to skill of a potterer or skill of a craftsman only. Skill of an engineer, skill of a doctor. Everything is a skill. Mastering any kind of thing. Suppose I wash my utensil in a very nice way. So I am learning a skill. I know how to clean my house. That is also a skill. Every part of learning outcome is a skill.
Yeah.
So how you can say that Gandhi technology and Gandhian education system is not related? It is totally meaningfully related. And please, you should be able to, because I'm a student of anthropology, so I can meaningfully connect that you should be able to relate Gandhian education system with the technology. I'm telling you, nowadays children are very smart and they are more trained than you to use the technology. But value-based teaching is totally dependent upon you. You should be able to teach them values, how to handle the technology in an Indian way, Indian cultural way, that they should be able to learn Indian craft, Indian values, and they should be able to respect their parents, their teachers, their colleagues. We are teaching our children the value system. So you should be able to make them conscious of learning. What they are learning, they should be able to know. आप उनको कहिए कि लैपटॉप खुद खोलें, उनको पता होना चाहिए आज की क्लास किस बारे में है. थोड़ा सा उनको कॉन्शियस बनाएंगे, so they will be able to comprehend their local culture also.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Your nice experience and knowledge. Thank you, Shouting, for that.
Thank you, Bharti ji. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Sandeep ji, for giving me this opportunity, and thank you, Dinesh Kothari ji, for listening to me so patiently.
Thank you, Dr. Rahul. I would request to Sir Kothari to present vote of thanks from Udaipur Regional Center, Guwahati.
यस सर, नमस्कार. बहुत अच्छा आपका उद्बोधन था राहुल सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. और हम लोग डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म पे पहुंच चुके हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत आगे बढ़ चुकी है, लेकिन जो महात्मा गांधी की जो नई तालीम, बुनियादी शिक्षा का जो मामला है, वो आज भी बहुत प्रासंगिक है. चाहे वो गांधी जी की शिक्षा के 4 मुख्य सिद्धांत थे. एक वो मातृभाषा में होनी चाहिए, उसमें नैतिक शिक्षा होनी चाहिए, मॉरल एजुकेशन पे ज़्यादा ध्यान होना चाहिए, वो निःशुल्क होनी चाहिए, वो रोजगार परक होनी चाहिए. मतलब शिक्षा ग्रहण करते ही आदमी रोजगार नहीं मांगने लग जाए, मुझे नौकरी चाहिए। शिक्षा इस तरह की होनी चाहिए कि वो अपने आप को रोजगार में एक्सपर्ट कर ले, जब एजुकेशन अपनी पूरी करे तो खुद अपना रोजगार सृजन कर सके। तो आपका जो व्याख्यान था बहुत ही हमारे जो शिक्षकगण हैं उनके लिए बहुत यूजफुल है, और इसके लिए मैं आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा। और मैं आशा करता हूँ आगे भी इसी तरह आपको हम सुनते रहेंगे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, everyone. Now 10 minutes only for tea break. Then we'll move to next class for music. Rahul sir, thank you again.